I mean, what did you think when you heard that they were reopening everything?
Well, I think it's an attempt by sites in the Senate to claw back what they lost in the House. I think a lot of the House has real problems with what the Senate bill, the whole thing doesn't pass the smell test. A lot of Republicans, I think, were pressured pretty hard, both in the committee and on the floor last week to vote for this bill, even though they know it's wrong. I've had a couple of people who won't look me in the eye when I tell them, hey, you know this is wrong, but you're doing it anyway. I think they're still very disorganized. They think that they're going to have trouble passing this, and they should, because it's a naked attempt to have politics get in the way of democracy, which is kind of ironic, this being election day and all, that we're exercising our right to vote, and these guys are trying to limit voter choices in a very important election next year.
I know you. Go ahead.
Were you still planning to sue if the House version had been accepted?
Anything that eliminates our primary and forces us to spend significant resources for the next few months when we should be running a campaign and condenses our campaign to just about 90 days is unfair and unconstitutional. And we have the suit ready, and we will sue, and we will win.
If they delayed this till 2015, would either of the House or the Senate versions be agreeable to?
We're close on some of the things, right? The main issue is the fact, and I've said it till I'm blue in the face, and I apologize, some of you have heard me say it 50 times, but it's changing the rules in the middle of the game. We can negotiate on all these, the signature levels, the retention efforts. Some of those have gotten better in this bill. We've been able to negotiate. But again, if this would be pushed to 2015, they could avoid an immediate lawsuit, right? And we could work to fix if there were any problems, et cetera. We'd have to look at whatever would pass. But again, two main problems, taking effect this election cycle and getting rid of our party primary, which, if you don't understand, that's a very big thing, the party primary. Here in Ohio, you can only declare your party affiliation one way, on primary day, by choosing a ballot from a particular primary. If the party primary is eliminated for every party other than Republican and Democrat, that means you can't be anything other than Republican or Democrat, which affects people's First Amendment rights to participate in the Libertarian Party because they can't hold county offices on central committees, et cetera, even though they may want to. And we have a particular situation right now because Ron Paul, who's a small L libertarian and has inspired a lot of capital L libertarians, ran as a Republican in 2012. So, for example, I live in Greene County. We have enough people to form a county affiliate Libertarian Party in Greene County, but those 10 people all voted for Ron Paul. 8 or 10 of them voted for Ron Paul, so they can't participate in the Libertarian Party officially. So that party primary is, along with the condensing our campaign, making us waste all our resources on petitioning, those are the two big issues at this point.
I know you don't like the bill, period.
Yep.
Are you worse off under what they're talking about doing than if Senator Kearney hadn't spoken up on the floor?
Rephrase the question, please.
Would you have been better off under the bill as it passed the Senate and the House and would have been voted on last week as opposed to reopening it now?
I think what Kearney, correct me if I'm wrong, Kearney brought up the fact that the House version did not have the geographical requirement, which again, we think that's unconstitutional. Because what that does is force us to get so many of our signatures from 8 different congressional districts, which is basically saying that one Ohio voter is different from another. An Ohio voter is an Ohio voter is an Ohio voter. And to say, geographically that somehow if we wanted to collect just here in Columbus, that those voters aren't as valuable as a voter in Tiffin on a farm somewhere or vice versa, that's just wrong.
But the signature thresholds are going up again now compared to where you were a week ago.
Right. Again, that's correct. But even wherever the signature thresholds are with any version of this bill, it still makes us spend resources during the middle of a campaign season, which prevents us from attracting voters. It eliminates our primary. It condenses our campaign to 95 days.